Hello, everybody, and welcome to this session. I'm about to teach you something very, very powerful, the concept of elevating your presence. In my years of providing coaching and consulting to some successful CEOs, the rich and the successful, there is one thing I have learned about them. Sometimes they invite me to their dinner hangout, they invite me to their private parties, to their homes, to some of their meetings, and I like to observe and just pay attention. What are these people doing that the poor are not doing, or people who are still struggling are not doing, that I can do so I can become better and more successful, right? And one of the most important things I've learned that they do is, which I have termed the principle of elevating your presence. Now, what does it mean to elevate your presence? What does it mean to elevate your presence as a professional, as an entrepreneur? To elevate your presence as a professional or an entrepreneur talks about you developing your leadership skills, increasing your self-awareness, raising your value, raising your standards, making your presence felt through valuable contribution, and intentionally making sure that you stand out both physically in person and online. This is what it means to elevate your presence. And this is not something you leave to chance. This is something you intentionally build. You develop that attitude, that consciousness that you need to elevate your presence where you find yourself. Because let me tell you something. Successful people like to do business with successful people or with potential successful people. Nobody likes to hang out with failures. That's the truth. But there's one thing I've learned. For example, I've had the privilege to coach some people who are way richer and more powerful than me. And one time, one of them told me that, look, I like the way you look at life. I like the way you approach things. I want to work with you because of the way I see you think and where I think that you are going to. So that's why I always say that the rich and the successful like to work with other rich and successful people, or they like to work with potential rich and potential successful people. Now, one of the ways that you can show these people that you are a potential great person, the principle of elevating your presence, right? And again, you don't leave this to chance. If you're serious about making it, you're serious about creating impact, building influence, and leaving a positive legacy, and just creating significance, you need to understand this, right? Now, one thing about elevating your presence is that it requires a combination of skills and character. Now, let me share with you 5 things that you can do to elevate your presence. These are things that you have to do intentionally and consistently. And if you do these things, you will be able to elevate you and attract the right relationships. Number 1, develop your ability to communicate. There is no way you can elevate your presence. There is no way you can contribute if you do not know how to articulate your ideas, articulate your value clearly and effectively in the way that these people can understand you. You need to invest in that. Practice to communicate clearly. Practice to speak, to listen clearly. Practice to read, understand, process, and communicate clearly. Number 2, be confident but humble. Yes, learn to be confident, but at the same time be humble. Don't let your confidence speak like arrogance. Confidence can help you project authority and inspire people to trust you, but it is important to balance it with humility. Balance it with humility, with listening, understanding, and giving people their space. Number 3, intentionally build relationships. Go to people, establish connections, build relationships with colleagues, clients, stakeholders who can help you establish credibility and influence. These are 2 things that relationships will give you: credibility and influence. There are some people that when you know who can endorse you and recommend you, it builds credibility and influence, and automatically it elevates your presence in front of some people. Number 4, cultivate a positive attitude. The right attitude is important when it comes to elevating your presence. The attitude that can help you build relationships, that can help you inspire people, that can help you overcome challenges. Don't be the complaining one. Don't be the blaming one. Don't be the low self-esteem one. No, have a positive attitude. Number 5, raise your value and keep using your value to solve problems and contribute to progress. Hear me again. If you are going to elevate your presence, you need to learn how to consistently raise your value. Not only raising your value, but know how to use your value to solve problems anywhere you find and to contribute to progress. When you do this, you will automatically elevate your presence anywhere you find yourself. Lastly, dress appropriately. Oh, yes, dress appropriately. Learn to dress appropriately depending on where you are. If it's a formal business event, dress business formal. If it's a business casual event, dress business casual. Learn to dress appropriately, because this, or when you enter the room with the dressing that fits the occasion, you also elevate your physical presence and you create a good impression. If you understand this and you implement it, and I can guarantee you that you will increase your chances of career success and business success. The principle of elevating your presence anywhere you are will always make you stand out. Keep building that dream, and remember, you are rare, you are remarkable. Cheers.